Hello everyone and welcome back to another Arias 411. My name is Chase Ehlers and today we are going to be talking to you about traveling over the holiday season and getting into openings in 2020. And joining me today is our account manager from our laboratory division, Nick Rachel. Nick, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, yeah, today we're going to be talking about two popular topics as we approach the end of the year. The first being, of course, traveling around the holiday season, and then the other being 2020 openings. Obviously, what people want to know is, what holidays do I have to work and how is that determined?
Right, exactly. So unfortunately, there isn't a set schedule, ahead of time going into these assignments. I'd love for us to be able to say you're guaranteed these holidays off, but a lot of times it is dictated by what the facility needs and what their staffing demands are. So they do a really good job, though, I would say, with most of our clients working directly with the travelers and the permanent staff to make sure that everyone has a fair schedule. But see, there might be some holidays who are scheduled work, some of them we may not have to.
Sure, and of course, if you plan on working the holidays, what can travelers expect compensation-wise?
Yeah, so that is paid through by your agency, so it is time and a half pay, which is nice. It's a nice added perk around the holiday season if you are scheduled to work on those days.
Awesome, good to know. And then, of course, with the holiday season, obviously there's going to be a lot of people like to spend time with family. Can you talk to us about the importance of time off requests and getting those in before being submitted?
Yeah, so that has become, I think, more of an issue, now more than ever with the holiday season coming up, and can't fault people for wanting to be home for the holidays. So one thing we always ask is just that transparency. If you know ahead of time you're needing that time off to be home for the holidays, let us know when we're submitting you over, because the last thing you want is for a facility to fall in love with you and then they can't accommodate your time off request. So everything should be in writing ahead of time. It just helps you out, it helps the facility, and it just kind of keeps that peace of mind.
Awesome, well that's really great to know. Switching gears a little bit into openings for 2020.
Yes.
At what point do we start to see those, and when are they going to really be in full swing?
Yeah, so I would say even at the beginning of November, we were starting to see facilities, especially in our harder to fill states, that are knowing the importance of getting staff locked in earlier than ever. So there really isn't a bad time to ever start looking, which is exciting. But as far as those openings in January, I would say right now we're seeing a ton of them.
Awesome, great. And then for those finishing up assignments around finishing up their 13 weeks around the October timeframe, can you talk to us about the importance of potentially extending if the facility is willing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say, having that conversation ahead of time with your recruiter, just because that January 6th start date that we're seeing right now is super competitive. There are a lot of people wanting to travel there. So ease your mind and just extend through the holidays, especially if you are set on a certain region that we may not have that opening for. So having that conversation early is important.
Absolutely, and you don't have to worry about moving in the winter or anything like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and then the final portion I wanted to talk about today was getting started as a first-time traveler. Obviously, you mentioned it's really competitive in January. Mm-hmm. Is there a time where it's too early or too late to start looking as a first-time traveler?
I don't think there's ever a bad time to start traveling. Obviously, the needs are there. You see the jobs all over the internet. So there is never a bad time. I would say if you're set on a certain region, our Southwest, Southeast right now are big, high priority for people. It's nicer weather as opposed to here in Omaha. It might be harder to find that job, but if you're more open to hearing about our other positions in the Midwest, the upper Northeast, I don't think there's ever a bad time.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, you provided some really great information for us today. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you have any further questions about traveling over the holiday season, or if you'd like to discuss opportunities for 2020, please comment below or message the page. We'd love to be a resource for you. Thank you.